Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm UncleLander and this is Gran Turismo 2 GT mode playthrough. On the last episode, if I remember correctly, we have managed to complete the entire GT 500 championship with the Mugen NSX GT, and we managed to get the Artis XL Skyline, which in my opinion is like one of the best rewards in this game. On today's agenda, I'm going to start doing the I'm going to start to do endurance races. So how am I going to plan to do endurance races? The endurance races I'm going to do in the following way. I have the spreadsheet of cars that can show up during the endurance races. I'm going to pick up one of the cars from that spreadsheet, and I'm going to drive it, modify it, and we're going to basically win all the races. And when it comes to the race that I'm going to go for now, it's going to be endurance runs in Trail Mountain, 30 laps at Trail Mountain. I'm gonna pick the Lotus Elise. Hello Scanlan, hello Sally. I'm doing pretty good. This is also a good time to remind you guys that all of the episodes of the Gran Turismo 2 are being recorded live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/UncleLander. Link in the description. What else can I say besides the fact that I'm waiting for the package to be delivered, and I'm gonna have to like step out for like a moment just so I can get the package and basically be back in the game. I know that for YouTube wise it doesn't look really that great, but I cannot really do anything differently because my hard drive is not that big. If I had a bigger hard drive, which I currently do, it just waits to be installed. I just need a couple days to basically deliver the PC to the shop so they can install so they can install the things, and so I can basically split my content between Twitch and YouTube, because that basically makes more sense. It makes the live streams a little bit different, and it makes the YouTube basically it's gonna separate two things, and it's gonna be better for me. Hey Holtz, hope you're doing well. Anyway, we got a Lotus Elise 111S over here, with 142 brake horsepower and 770 kilograms of weight, which makes this car, in my opinion, the best choice for a Trail Mountain endurance race.
Welcome back.
And there goes Thunder with the tier 1 sub of 32 months. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Welcome back. Also, screw you. Wow, thanks, friendship right there. That's friendship right there, ladies and gentlemen. So, Lotus Elise 111S, we're gonna test this car without any modifications, and then I'm gonna modify this car. I picked this car for the Trail Mountain Endurance race because it is the lightest, and also it has probably the most optimal amount of power that you can get after modifying this car. Sure, you have to put a little bit more time and money into modifying this car, but in the end, it is the best choice because it's 30 laps of Trail Mountain, and I'm going to the pits every 10 laps. At the 10 laps, this car can pretty much still like do whatever it wants. And as a matter of fact, I dare to believe that this car, after 15 laps, is still gonna be in a reasonable condition to drive. The tires are gonna be in a pretty reasonable condition to drive. So this is the main reason why I picked up this car. Besides that, the power to weight ratio is absolutely incredible after modifying. But before I'm gonna take this car to the North City and modify it, I'm going to take this thing to the machine test. How am I doing? The day is going pretty good. Finally streaming after 1 week of vacation, which I had to take because of the surgery that I had, which a little bit more detailed story about that I'm gonna basically say it after we're gonna perform the tests, because this is gonna be pretty much a longer episode considering I'm doing the machine test and I'm doing the entirety of the 30 laps of the Trail Mountain in one episode. So yeah, all right, 400 meters. Or is it 400 meters? I think this is 400 meters. With that camera perspective, I do certainly, yeah, it's a max speed. I picked up the wrong test. That's what Rust does to me. Anyway, let's take this card for 400 meters first. But yeah, like I said, I'm doing pretty good. Now the only thing that bothers me is the stitches, but I'm basically gonna deal with it for the next week. It's nothing too serious though, I can deal with that. And there we go, 15.3 seconds on 400 meters. And sadly, that is unranked. Let's see what this car can do at 1,000 meters. This car is definitely a little bit more stubborn than 1,000 meters. Sorry, not 1,000 meters. It's a little bit more stubborn than first gear. But Lotus Elise in this game are pretty much cars that are pretty much very famous for how well they actually can get into the corners. Which they can, they definitely can. 28 seconds, 0.045. On the 1,000 meter test, and that is still sadly unranked. Let's take this car on the one full lap of the test course. If there's also other thing that the Lotus manufacturer is pretty famous for, is their cars being when you modify the cars and add a custom suspension on them, they really require a little bit of tweaking for them to be basically drivable, because those cars tend to be very, very stubborn and they tend to bounce up and down really, really badly on the corners, on the wide corners. Especially the special cars, the Elise GT1, which already has pre-installed custom suspension, but the problem is that suspension only has a stabilizer level 1. The record is 379, and I think the qualifying maximum speed is 280 something. I have not played this game in a week. Well, okay, maybe not in a week. I am basically not counting yesterday, because yesterday I was playing this game a little bit, was tweaking the car settings a lot. See, that's what I'm talking about. This car is very, very unhinged. On the wide corners, this car really wants to oversteer quite a lot. Yeah, I don't believe that this car is gonna be ranked in any way, shape, or form. And a matter of fact, I believe that if this car is gonna reach 240 kilometers an hour, I'm gonna be happy with that. I'm gonna give this car 239 if the next straight is gonna be merciful. So sadly, this car still is gonna remain unranked. Yeah, we can slow down a little bit right now. The maximum speed has been reached, 239. I'm pretty sure it's 239. Which, sadly, it is not enough for us to get ranked up anywhere in the table. Yep, sadly it is not. Doesn't matter though. Because what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna modify this car. We're gonna prepare this car for the 30 laps of Trail Mountain endurance race. And we're gonna complete that entire race. Now let's see, Lotus. Tune it up. With just the muffler, we are reaching 154 brake horsepower. Yeah, it's gonna be 30 laps, which the fastest that I can pull out is 1 minute 29. The slowest lap that I can pull out is 1 minute 36. With power grinding, we are reaching 171 brake horsepower. We're going for the natural aspirated tune, and we are upgrading our maximum power output to 219. Now, I was actually testing this car quite thoroughly, and I tested this car's performance with just natural aspirated tuning and turbo tuning, which this car can actually get. Turns out that turbo tuning is actually adding additional 30 plus brake horsepower, and also cuts the overall time of basically the additional power allows me to cut the time over 1 second. So to me, buying the turbo on this car is actually pretty valuable. Yeah, we are with now when I think about it, I think the entire episode might actually have, because now we have to consider that we have just done testing, modifying the car, talking a little bit. We have to consider that this is gonna be like at least 40-minute to 50-minute episode. Plus the pit stops, plus you know, post-racing commentary if any is gonna be required. It's not bad, because let me put it like this: Lotus Elise is a car that requires a little bit of discipline while you're driving. Even if you set up the car, which is exactly what I did. I already have like a spreadsheet with the settings specifically for this car, specifically for the race. Even though the car still is set up, it's still gonna be requiring me to be a little bit more focused, especially on this a few corners in which no matter what kind of settings I'm gonna apply, the suspension of the car is gonna go up and down like crazy. And I cannot use the 60 FPS for the endurance races because if I'm correct, which if I'm not, correct me, I'm gonna remember that for the future. If you play with 60 FPS on the emulator, there's some problems with the tires. They basically they're either glitching out or they're expiring much faster. So yeah, and also one thing that is worth noticing. Normally in this game, I decide not to get any active stability controllers. I have changed my mind when it comes to the Lotus Elise. Lotus Elise kind of needs the active stability controller just because of that suspension and how it behaves. Alright, I think I have bought everything. Let me just check the racing slick tires just in case. Yep, I think I bought everything. Let's just simply go for the race. Let's tune up the car. 30 laps of Trail Mountain. The maximum power output is 295, but we are pretty good with the with my car weighing maybe 690 and having 254 brake horsepower. It's the power to weight ratio is absolutely incredible. Alright, so I have the spreadsheet of the settings that I'm gonna use for this car. Alright, so starting with suspension, the front suspension is gonna be 3.5, the back is gonna be 4.5. Driving height is gonna be 95 on both rear and front. Damper bound is gonna be 2 and 4. Same with the rebound. The camber on the front is 1-0, but the rear is gonna be 1.5. Toe minus 0.05 on the front and plus 0.10 on the back with stabilizers, 5 at the front and 6 on the back. Brakes, it's gonna be pretty much the same, 2022. I'm even gonna check the setting over here just in case. Yep, 2022. Gearbox setting is gonna be on 9. And when it comes to the LSD, initial is at 5. Acceleration is a 5, diesel is gonna be at 40, and active stability controller at 15. You don't need more of an active stability controller for this car. You can go safely for like 30 if you really want to, but for me 15 is good enough. It's a perfect balance of car just being more stable and me still having a little bit more fun with this car. Alright, besides that, I believe everything has been already picked. So yeah, without further ado, let's simply start the race. And every endurance race basically starts with a jump start at certain kilometers an hour. And the first novelty that I can share about this race is that this version is the newest version of the game, per se, because it's a European PAL version. Hello, one day. On the previous versions of this game, which is North American and Japanese, during this race, and one additional contender could show up. A contender that has no right, neither has a place in this race. Vector M12 LM car with like 690 brake horsepower in a race in which maximum power output is 295. Sure, you can still beat that guy with a careful planning and careful choice of your car. But it's not the easiest. And just like that, on the second lap, we just managed to pretty nicely lose the competition. The other things that I have managed to do when I was like taking a little break is I have decided to take one of the most undrivable cars to me in this game and try to do the best as I can to make that car drivable, and that is the Lotus GT1. and I managed to grab it. I've modified it. And I think I might actually take it for the World Championship. Because I believe I managed to make this car pretty drivable, despite the fact that it only has suspension stabilizers at level 1 at all times. So yeah, I was a week. I had to take a week of vacation of the streams. And there was a very good medical reason behind that. Mainly, it was the fact that I had a one wisdom teeth removal, and the same day I had to apply correction onto one of my previous surgeries on my lower jaw. I genuinely did not expect it for the entire swelling to go down this fast. I was genuinely expecting that I'm gonna have to spend like 2 weeks just being swollen in itself. I was quite surprised about that. But I guess the antibiotics and the other medication have done its job pretty well, so I can't really complain. The entire surgery was taking 2 hours. It was basically a whole 2 hours sitting in a chair with only a spatial anesthesia. And by spatial, I mean they only applied a numbing medicine to the operated areas, and that's it. Wisdom tooth removal was probably the easiest one of these because the wisdom tooth just popped out. She just grabbed it with a clamp, she just twisted once or twice and just pulled out. It was the weirdest tooth root that I have ever seen in my life. Because the root of that teeth was the slickest and most fanged look thing that I ever witnessed. But that was only like 20-30 minutes. Because you always need to wait 5 minutes after the numbing medication. You have to wait those 5 minutes for the numbing medication to start working. Then it was like 10-15 minutes of pulling. And then it was pretty much closing the first thing, applying stitches, give me another 5 minutes of break, then applying the numbing medication again. This time on the lower jaw. And that was 1.5 hours, if not less, of the doctor just doing her own thing on that part. Just performing surgery, cleaning the entire area out. And after that, you know, everything had basically started kicking in, which means swelling started to kick in. It looked very, very nasty though, especially on the lower left, my lower left of my jaw. I was looking like as if I had the freaking a jawbreaker from Ed and Eddie. I don't know if you guys remember that show. Basically, my lower left jaw was looking horrible. I even have written in Discord, "Hey, post-surgery Lander here." Now I'm looking like I have 3 rounds in the ring with Mike Tyson post-prison sentence. And I looked exactly like that. For the first day or two, I could not speak. I just could not speak. Because I could barely open my jaw whatsoever. Eating was an absolute freaking disaster. And, you know, when I took the antibiotics, I have a very weird side effect, a side reaction to those antibiotics. Were I dropping food? No, actually not. My problem was not that I was dropping food, because basically that numbing thing, it did its job when it needed it to do its job. It worked for like for all the time for the surgery, then I regained all the feeling in my upper and lower jaw, so there was no situation in which I couldn't close my mouth or hold the food or drooling. No, nothing like this. My problem was basically with eating in itself, just trying to perform this action, you know, closing, using your teeth, closing the teeth. Bye, Opel Vectra. For me, that was the entire Christmas miracle. But for 2 days, I couldn't like properly open my mouth. And like I was trying to say, I had a very weird reaction to the antibiotics. I even was talking with Thunder on Discord about that I feel weird while taking those antibiotics. That I felt like I'm sick, but I wasn't sick. And I had this weirdest pain in my right thigh, as if I constantly had cramp, but my muscles were relaxed. So that was like a first day of, you know, post-surgery, post-antibiotics. I mean, it was during the antibiotics. On the second day, I woke up. I think even during my dream, I had like a cold shakes or something. But nothing too extreme. I woke up next morning. I felt a little bit sick. But besides that, you know, after like the first half of the day, I was starting to feel normal. So everything was good. By the end of the second day, I was able to finally bite something that is not just cornflakes with milk or scrambled eggs. And on the third day, I was finally able to open my jaw a little bit better. Still was swelling, but I was finally able to eat something. Hello, Golf GDI. Goodbye, Golf GDI. It's also lap number 10, so I can go to the pits. And yeah, basically the rest of the time was just me trying to take a nap. Which, even better, during, like, immediately after the surgery, I was basically feeling so, well, maybe not woozy, but I definitely didn't feel like I'm on top of my, not on top of my prime. My body basically asked me to take a nap. And me being a smartass, it's actually not even being a smartass, it's me being a lazy little lander. Instead of going to the bed and lying down and sleeping off as much as I can, I decided to go to sleep on my desk. And what have happened when I was trying to sleep on my desk? My right lip, not my right chin, had this awful tendency of trying to get in between my teeth. And basically every single time I knew that I was ready to just take a little bit of sleep, I got brutally woken up with me biting on my own chin in a very hurtful way. I didn't bit through, but it's like you're trying to bit your tongue and you feel that you're actually doing it too hard. It's basically that kind of feeling. Hello, Golf GDI, once again. Golf 4 sucks! Well, it doesn't really. It really doesn't. Do I prefer Golf 5 over Golf 4? And of course, let's not forget mentioning the fact that after that I need to apply all the mouth washing medicine. Basically, I had to still wash my mouth and all the wounds with diluted hydrogen peroxide. And also herbal teas. I'm really ran out of the antibiotics, which at this point I have no side effects from those from dropping those antibiotics. I used to have the pills that I need to, like, you know, I need to allow them to be melted in my mouth, and I still have the other medication which I had to apply myself once a day on the side with hydrogen peroxide and all the stuff. What was the problem? The first problem was one remaining wisdom tooth. that I need to get rid of anyway. Which, by the way, a little bit of a health tip from UncleLander. Remove your wisdom teeth. It really do that. That was one of the issues. The second issue was from one of the surgeries from the past on my lower left. The bone did not regenerate it properly. There was something wrong over there that doctor basically did not notice previously. And I need to have my RD... how do you call the Röntgen scan? RTG? I need to have my RTG redone. And then it was 2 hours of surgery, not 2 hours. 2 hours of surgery was for the whole thing, but give or take 1 hour and 1 hour and a half for the lower left jaw. But I'm still pretty damn surprised that the swelling already went out so fast. And I hope for the future I'm not gonna have to witness any more complications. I already have witnessed enough complications from my wisdom teeth. Because my jaw was basically so screwed by the wisdom teeth that I really had to get rid of some of my teeth because they were basically crushed. Not the most fabulous thing to talk about, but yeah. But from this point on, it's all just about the recovery. And hey, let's think about it this way. I don't have to remove any more teeth, or I don't have to have any other surgeries performed. Well, okay, maybe if we... Okay, that could be actually be a lie. Because I still need to have performed root canals on 3 teeth. On the ones that got crushed due to me not removing the wisdom teeth. You're not a fan of the dentist visit using heebie-jeebies? I'm not surprised. The surgeon lady that was performing the surgery on me, I'm gonna remember her for a very long time because she was probably like one of the best doctors that I have ever managed to like talk with and managed to work with in a very, very long time. Very nice, very kind, spitting jokes. Very nice, very kind person. As a matter of fact, I believe that I'm not only gonna remember her, but I believe I'm gonna kind of miss her. Yeah. The approach to the patient makes a huge difference. Because there are definitely some doctors that at this point they are just walking machines. Like, they just see a human, okay, let's not see the human, let's see the problem. And if the problem is serious, then we're gonna see the human because we need to prevent that human from dying. But it's the same way as you look at repairing a car or a motorbike. But overall, not a bad experience. Before I even went to the surgery room, so the moment I have entered the building, right, there were already, I'm going to assume that it was a father with a daughter, and she also had her wisdom tooth removed. And let's not remember, it's only one wisdom tooth removal at the time. We don't perform just the removal of all the wisdom teeth in one go. Which, if that was possible, I will be more than happy, but it doesn't work like that. And they realized that I'm gonna have like very similar surgery. And they started asking me questions like, how does it go? How does it look like? And so the best I could do was just to calm her down, because she was very nervous. And I told her that it's not that big of a deal, it's a quick injection to numb the space. Then it's gonna be just... you know, a quick pull out. It's not gonna be bad, it's not gonna be super painful, you're gonna be good. And because the doors to the surgery room are not the thickest, I could kinda hear every single thing that was happening behind the door. And from what I have heard, is that she actually passed out in the middle of the surgery. Like, she went to the La La Land without the La La Land medication. And the thing is, you kind of need to be awake for that. Let me explain you why. Because as you're awake, you still have control over your muscles, and you have control over where your head stays. So basically, in the case of that surgery, you are also helping your doctor with keeping your head still. And she just passed out in mid-surgery on them, and they had to wake her up. But everything went right. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna assume it was her father took her home. And everything went all right without many complications, and I really wish that they basically didn't have to go through a lot of complications. Hey, look at that, the best lap. I think that air drag have definitely helped with from that Toyota. But yeah, besides that, I came back home, bought all the medication because I couldn't talk. I had everything written on the paper. And of course there were situations in which I clearly tried to show I cannot talk. I'm unable to talk. Please don't ask me any questions. Please don't force me to talk. In the next 15 minutes, yo, can you tell me something? Please explain to me why it doesn't work. And I'm like sitting on the chair being like, you serious? You serious? Can you see the two tennis balls that are protruding from my face right now? Can you see that I cannot eat anything with the consistency? How long I couldn't talk for? I would say 2 days, like the day of the surgery and day after that. Those were like the 2 days in which I could not really move my jaw that well. But after that, I could move more and more and more. As the swelling went down more and more. I could start talking, could start eating normally, and I was very happy about that. That only meant that it could make a very fast recovery, and that was like the most important thing for me at that point. That the medicine and the surgery worked properly. Pit work in progress. Alright, last 10 laps. But yeah, I think the biggest problem for me after that surgery was not even like the little weird side effects. Which, by the way, it was the very weird side effects. I never had such weird side effects from the antibiotics because I think I even mentioned it previously. My side effects were basically me feeling like I'm sick, but I'm not. In my right thigh, but it could be not even connected. My right thigh basically hurting crazy for no reason. Even on the first day, even on the first night, I should say, on the first night of taking the antibiotics, during the night, I'm pretty sure I had some... I think I have a little bit of a fever because I definitely had some cold shakes. So maybe it was just antibiotics running their course through my body and getting rid of whatever bacteria there was, basically raising my temperature. Maybe I had a fever. at that point in time. And the next thing in the morning, I woke up. I was feeling still kind of sick, but no fever, no nothing, no like stuffed nose, nothing like that. You don't know how my thigh was affected? Yeah, I mean, I connect it by the way I'm saying things. I definitely connect the antibiotics to be one of the causes, and I will not deny that. But I'm also considering that to be just like a pure coincidence. Like, it's basically something that I done. Maybe I put the wrong step. I don't know. I was sitting in a bad position for an extended amount of time, and the thigh started hurting, or something else. It all could be purely coincidental. In a matter of fact, I am more willing to believe that it was all more coincidental stuff. Also, the other thing that I have decided to do is I was like, okay, so the way I function, the way my brain functions, is that I need to have something to do. Right? Even if I have a day off, I need to have something to do to keep my brain busy. Because it is basically the best thing for me. For some reason, throughout this entire week, I did not have a single urge to do anything stream-wise. No new thumbnails, no new ideas, nothing. Nothing like that. Just me sitting back, and instead of working on something, I decided to rethink a lot of stuff. Not to watch on, not to look on what can I improve content-wise, but how can I more improve myself so the content that I'm making actually feels better. It just feels more fun for me to do. And there was a little bit of thinking. I can definitely say that I was way too addicted to my phone in a way of just constantly using the phone as a streaming stuff. Because I was basically checking on that phone is that if my stream is working correctly, anything like this, I need to stop doing that. Because I have noticed that with phone, I am just getting more and more depressed. And basically paying attention to certain things just makes me worse in general. And I basically have decided to apply the philosophy of what eyes don't see, the heart doesn't feel. And basically I need to apply a little bit more of a different philosophy of not being so strict to myself, but basically lay back a little bit, you know. Even if I'm talking about something, just talk about something. Don't be afraid about talking about those things. Like right now, we have spent almost entirety of the race talking about my post-surgery. But also that entire week of me just not giving a damn was also good on my mental state, because I could basically detach myself, and it felt good. It felt really good because I could finally rest, which is something that I don't usually do, because like I said, I even have written that on my Discord, my stream announcements, that I'm the type of person that doesn't like to be stuck with the thumb on my ass. And I like doing things, I like doing stuff, because me being busy keeps me going, right? And the thank God that I wrote that I might do a stream, and I didn't wrote that I will do a stream. Because holy crap, if I would say that I'm gonna do this stream, I'm a man of my word, so I probably would do this stream. But I think I'm actually happy that I wrote over that I might do a stream, because because of that word, I actually managed to get myself an excuse to rest much more, to basically rethink some stuff. And then part of the surgery, they have a self-reflect and evaluate their lives. Well, my surgery wasn't really that like important. It wasn't a heart surgery or brain surgery. I was basically reflecting upon me being a streamer, how I approach it, what I'm possibly doing that is wrong, what I'm possibly taking too much care for, what do I do pay too much attention to, and what I don't pay any attention to at all. And I believe there's still a lot to correct, still a lot to fix, still a lot of things, me-wise, my person-wise, that could be adjusted. And the faster I'm gonna adjust those things, the better. Besides that, you know, the week have passed. I managed to relax, I managed to chill. And I think that is what is most important. That I actually took a little bit of time, excuse me, that I actually took a little bit of time to just chill, just separate myself from the entire streaming business, as important as this. Of course, I didn't separate myself totally from this, because I still posted a playthrough on Ko-Fi, I still posted daily on YouTube. But posting daily on YouTube or once on Ko-Fi is just like, you know, 5 minutes of work. Not even, because it's basically just adjusting the description, copying the link, posting it on Discord. And that's it. That was like the only thing that I have done stream and content making wise. And like I said, I'm very happy about that. Because now that I have started the stream, I have managed to approach with, I think a different, even if, like at the minimal, it's a slightly different perspective on all of this. And hopefully I will manage to, you know, to chill a little bit, not be so strict to myself. Basically accept the things for what they are and try to improve from there. Essentially, that means on top of the regular effort that I usually put into the content, as probably as little as it is, I'm basically gonna put even more content onto myself. Because if I can improve upon myself, I can improve the content as well. Alright guys, the final lap of the race. You think you prove this car doesn't suck? Let me tell you something. This game is not difficult. This game in general is not difficult. There are only like few actual races that you really have to be afraid of. And few cars that you actually have to like sit back down and try to modify them so they can basically do their best. And just like that, the end of the first endurance race, with me being on the first place. Toyota Celica MS version on the second place with I plus 3 laps. That means that that most likely means that I have managed to lap them all 3 times at least. So Toyota Celica is second, Volkswagen Golf GDI at third, MGF at 4, Peugeot at 5th, and Vauxhall Vectra at the 6th place. And yeah, I'm actually really happy that putting a little bit of work on this car actually proved to be good. Because now this car actually wants to stick. It actually wants to stick to the track, and that was exactly the point of modifying this car. Because the tire durability of this car is absolutely ridiculous, as we could see. The last 10 laps only had to stop in the pit lane twice, and basically the tires were in the perfect condition pretty much at all times. Sure, they may be degraded from like green to yellow, but you can still drive the car on yellows. Here it just was like just straight up yellow and could still make the final lap. I could still go even further than that, but I decided not to because it is basically better that way. All right, let's check the reward, which it's only one preset reward for this peculiar race, and it's a Densisart Supra with 686 brake horsepower and 1150 kilograms of weight, which I might actually use this car for another endurance race. I'm not really sure about that. What I can do right now is definitely I could save the game, save it to the file, because that's a first of it's one of the first of the endurance races. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, people of Twitch, we're still gonna continue on with the stream, but people of YouTube, this is gonna be the end of this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing, ringing the bell, stopping the like, leaving a comment, all that good stuff. Links for any kind of my socials can be found in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment down below, as I usually do that. And the last credit that I need to actually put in over here, the music has been made by Car Casey at his official website whitebetaudio.com, and he also has a YouTube channel called Whitebet Studio. Basically, I'm giving appropriate credit to the person that have made music, and it's currently music that's playing in the background. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for watching. If my brain is not gonna fart anymore, I'm gonna see you guys on the next episode.